Engagement Services.
Hi, I'm Tegan McLean. I'm the Community Engagement and Inclusion Administrator for Milpitas and oversee the program. Who's next? Tara, you want to call on people so that we can?
I'll call on people. Liliana, do you want to go next?
I'm Liliana. I'm with the Veterans Commission. I'm a veteran. I'm my second career. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and this is really near and dear to my heart. So glad to be here.
Thank you. Welcome. Sarah?
Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Galimba. I'm the events manager for NAMI Santa Clara County, and I'm excited that thank you for letting us speak today. Thank you.
Welcome, Kyle. Sarah, do you want to go next?
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Valerdosi. I'm one of the resident services program managers for Midpen Housing, and one of our locations is in Milpitas. It's right off of Main Street. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming. And Sukhleen?
Hi, I'm Sukhleen. I'm the youth representative.
Thank you, Sukhleen. Dawn?
Good afternoon. I'm Dawn Brown. I'm with NAMI Santa Clara County, and I also run a nonprofit that does mental health advocacy and support.
Thank you, Sandra.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandra Quintana. I'm a mental health program manager in Milpitas Unified School District.
Sorry. Nick, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everybody. Nicholas Aguilar. I am with Child Advocates of Silicon Valley. I am one of the, excuse my dog. So I'm one of the volunteer supervisors, and I'm the lead of our LGBTQ plus program.
Jay. Hi, Jay. Do you want to introduce?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jay Donahue. I am a coordinator with the County of Santa Clara Suicide Prevention Program.
And Pastor Mice.
Sorry, driving. Pastor Robert Mize with Cathedral of Faith Milpitas, and been with this group from the beginning. I'm very happy about that.
Thank you. Elena?
Hi all, my name is Elena Kakachi, and I'm the clinical director at Cassie Counseling and Support Services for You. And I do warn I have to jump off a little bit early. I'm double booked.
That's fine. John, we're just doing quick introductions. Mike.
John, you're muted.
Sorry, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is John Macon. I'm the Recreation Services Supervisor here at the Senior Center, and also been with Milpitas Hope from the beginning. So, thank you.
Thank you. So I think we got everyone. Did I miss anyone? No, I think we got everyone.
I think you did.
Yep. So welcome everyone, and let's get started with our agenda. The first item on our agenda today is an update from Jay. So Jay, do you have an update for us?
Tara, you have to do the public forum, even though I can see that there's no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So anyone from public? Do I read the whole thing, Tegan?
Yeah.
Okay. So public, those interested are invited to address the Hope Suicide Prevention Task Force on any subject not on today's agenda, orally via Zoom webinar. Speakers may provide their name and the city of residence for the record, and comments may be limited to 3 minutes or less at the discretion of the meeting coordinator. As an item not listed on the agenda, no response is required from the city staff or the Hope Suicide Task Force, and no action can be taken.
Okay, I don't see any attendees other than our panelists, so I think you can move on to the next item.
Okay, thank you for the reminder. So Jay, do you have any update for us today?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of updates actually, so I'm going to try to keep it brief. One of the big ones is that our program has combined with our suicide use and prevention services under one division now. So we're now called the Prevention Services Division, and Mego Lien, who was formerly our program manager, is now basically the Prevention Division manager. So she was promoted. So if you get a chance, give Mego some applause.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we have some work. We have a lot of work going on. So first thing is we have health systems work, and that's to promote. We have some folks working to promote and improve suicide prevention practices and protocols in primary care settings. That was actually sort of started off in the Milpitas Clinic. The Milpitas Clinic is only on hold because they had some COVID-19 closures, basically. Their staff was called over to go help with vaccinations and stuff. So they've been incredibly helpful, but for now, the Milpitas side of that, with that clinic specifically, is just on hold for a little bit. Our data work group also just held a roundtable on means restriction recently, and they're hoping to generate some comprehensive means restriction materials. Sorry, that was actually specifically, they had a roundtable on ligature restriction. But from that, we're hoping to maybe combine that into means restriction kind of brochures, maybe one for providers, maybe one for the community. That's to be determined at the time, and obviously we'll keep you all apprised of that. Next big thing is our suicide prevention conference is going to move forward. We have a date for that. I can send out the flyer to the team and to the group after this. So that's going to be virtual. It's going to be in May for Mental Health Matters Month. And so we're tentatively planning for 2 half sessions scheduled for May 3rd and May 10th. So it's going to be sort of split up. Again, I will send the flyer out and the information after this, so don't worry too much about getting it all down just yet. We have some proposed tracks being school system, health systems, local regional government, and faith. And all of the tracks are aimed at having an overarching theme of cultural considerations and cultural humility. So the title is going to be Advancing Cultural Humility and Hope. That is going to be what our title is. So this is really exciting for us because we had to cancel last year's for COVID-19. So our team is very excited about this, and hopefully you all are able to join. We're going to encourage calls for presentations from Milpitas Hope. If there's anything that you all think you could present on, we would strongly encourage it. It would be awesome. The next item we have is our postvention work. So Evelyn from our team has been working on a project to get emergency psychiatric services, basically provide them with these goodie bags. So they're going to basically include, postvention support for folks who've been released from holds due to ideation and suicide attempts. Their care bags that have resources, and then help with transitioning from EPS, back into their, regular routines. And then we're just basically waiting on approval from emergency psychiatric services to start handing those out. That's going to be good. We are also beginning a collaboration with the Bill Wilson Center starting later this month. The contract was, it's not fully through the county process yet, but it's been approved and everything. So we're just sort of waiting on the go ahead. That's going to have 2 components to it, our work with them: training county clinicians on how to provide grief support and postvention after a loss, and then providing critical incident stress management after critical events. So those are 2 big things with Bill Wilson Center. And then finally, with our trainings work that Jasmine does, the Herd Alliance is planning for the upcoming fiscal year. So that's going to be in July for us. And that's basically going to be working around social emotional learning, parent education, and then supporting students. So I've done tons of trainings, trained 400 Mountain View, Los Altos staff in the Be Sensitive, Be Brave suicide prevention trainings, Living Work Start license accesses for community members and stuff like that's coming soon directly through our program. So we've got a lot of things that we're excited about, and I hope that was as quick as I could be.
Any questions for Jay? I have a question, Jay. So with Bill Wilson Center, the grief support, will it be for every person who's grieving or just for suicide victims?
That is a great question. I believe that it's just going to be, well, actually, is your question meaning, is it for all folks who have been touched by the suicide?
Not just touched by suicide, but otherwise, if we have a senior who's grieving and needs to be referred to a place, can Bill Wilson be used as one of the resource?
Yes, I believe so. I believe so, yes.
Okay.
And the other thing is, just to take, and I don't know if we touched on this yet, but the letter that you all wrote for families touched by suicide, that was great. And we just want to hopefully, like in your letter and outreach to the families and those bereaved by any suicide, we're going to encourage LGBTQ resources because it's sort of come up with the county recently that it's something that we really want to focus on.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Any questions for Jay? Before I move on to my item. Okay. So an
well
update.
done.
Yeah, I know. And the conference, very excited.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. We're excited.
Yeah. So 2 sessions, half-day sessions on 3rd and 10th. Okay, we'll wait for the flyer and then we can share it with everyone. Perfect.
Hey, Jay, are there any additional trainings, the previous trainings that we had a couple years ago through Jasmine, in a kind of a virtual setting, or?
You mean, do we offer new ones?
For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on the names of the ones we've had previously. It's been about a year and a half, but.
Well, you all had QPR. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
QPR was one. Tegan, do you recall the name of?
We didn't. I don't remember the name. The full day one. It was 2 days.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's more of a intensive.
Yeah, that might have been. Was it Suicide to Hope or Assist?
Assist.
It was Assist.
Okay. Yeah. So we still can provide. Well, we don't directly provide. Do we provide Assist? I'm sorry, I'm getting tripped up on all the trainings that we offer. So we do offer basically the new training that we had piloted with Palo Alto University that did refer to really briefly is the Be Sensitive, Be Brave trainings. So that's one that we sort of finished up piloting recently, and we have been trying to basically like roll it out, and it's been really popular. So that was why Mountain View, Los Altos, like they came to us and were like, hey, we want this for all of our staff. So we've had tons and tons of what we refer to as BSBB trainings throughout the past couple of months. So there's the BSBB mental health, and then there's BSBB suicide prevention. Okay. And they're both fantastic trainings. I've taken both of them, and I actually am a certified trainer as well. So if those are something you're interested in, John,
okay,
you can send me an email. We can get you some more information on that.
Sure. And the ones through the Herd Alliance, the social emotional learning, those were with the focus on middle to high school age, or?
Yes, that's mostly what it's going to be, and I don't know specifically like what that's going to look like right now. That would be a question that I could refer you to Jasmine on.
Okay.
But yeah, SEL is going to be a big focus for them.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Moving on to the next agenda item. So we had 2 recent town halls for Milpitas Hope Task Force. We did one for seniors in February, which was facilitated by Catholic Charities Elder Behavior Health Unit. And the second one was in Spanish language for parents. And this was done by Cassie. So thank you, Cassie. I see Cassie staff is here. Thank you. Thank you. Both the town halls were well received. We had about 21 participants together. Moving forward, so far we've done about 8 of these town halls with about 75 participants. And I know NAMI wasn't here last time, but thank you, NAMI, also. They've been helping us facilitate these, as well as Q Corner, who referred us to some of the residents in Milpitas who were on our panel. So for our LGBTQ town hall that we did in January, we did 8 with about 75 participants. Moving forward, we are going to start doing about 1 a month, just because I think we've covered a lot of topics and we want to, dedicate more time to setting up some support groups or social groups, hopefully starting this summer. That's an update from me from Milpitas Hope. In the process of doing these town halls, I've seen that we've built really great relationships with local nonprofits. Cassie, NAMI, ARCI, Catholic Charities. Then I'm missing a few, I know, but thank you everyone. And of course, Behavioral Health from the county, the Q Corner. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to reach more nonprofits in the future and bring all the resources for mental health support in Milpitas. So if that was an update from me, but we can move on to our postvention letter from Tegan. And Mike, can we?
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. If IT can share it for us, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. So I just wanted to thank everyone who shared back comments on the letter. We now have a final draft. And so we are ready to go. Hope we don't ever need to use it, but it's ready. And our letter was intended as, to express our condolences, but also to, more importantly, put resources out for anybody who might need them following a suicide. So the letter itself, here it is, it's ready to go. I'll send a final copy to you after the meeting. We are also working on the Pocket Resources Guide, and thank you to everybody who added resources to that. Our marketing staff is still putting that together, but again, that's intended to be something that our police officers will be able to carry with them, and when they go on a call where there's either been a suicide or an attempt, they will be able to share that information with the folks. So I'm hoping that at the next meeting, we'll be able to bring you an electronic copy of that little fold out guide to look at and review before we publish it. The other piece of Postvention's work that we had talked about last summer was bringing in some training for our PIO and our city officials to prepare them in case they ever have to respond to a suicide publicly. And so we've connected with Joy Alexiou over at, I hope I'm saying her last name right. Jay, is that close? Alexiou? Anyway.
Yes,
okay.
You got it. Sorry, I was giving a thumbs up.
Thank you. Connected with her over at county. She's the county's PIO for behavioral health services. And she and Mago had recently given a presentation for San Jose, and we're working to see if we can get a presentation for Milpitas similar to that to train us. So that is, we're kind of getting close to wrapping up the end of the Postvention group's initial charge, the things that we were going to work on. So thank you all for your incredible help there. I guess I'm probably next, aren't I, on the agenda with work groups too. So the diversity work group, we're getting close again to our initial, what we wanted to do. I think the only outstanding item that we haven't taken care of yet is adding a member to this group representing the LGBTQ community. So I think that is the last piece for that group to do on its charge from last summer. And does somebody want to report on Teens and Transitional Youths group?
Yeah, really nothing to report, Tegan, and that's actually my fault. I apologize to the larger group and to our work team. We haven't been able to meet for 2 months. But I did want to report that I will actually be co-leading this with Anthony Teixeira, so that we can meet more regularly and maintain momentum. But from this group, we have Dawn and Sandra's on the teens. Pastor Mize, Marcia Grilly, and Lisa Miller. Elena, will you be stepping in for Lisa, or she just couldn't make it today? Lisa normally is.
Lisa is normally, but I believe she's transitioning out. So if it's not myself, it'll be Cheryl
Okay.
Springer. So.
Okay, so I'll include you on that calendar, but we will be, our goal is to meet 2 weeks after this formal meeting.
Okay.
So that we can start moving some of these initiatives and projects along. So we'll have a report next week, or next meeting rather.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Don? Me too, right? The discussion item. So because the work groups are getting to the point where we're wrapping up what we initially said we wanted to accomplish, we need to start talking as a larger group about the next things that we want to accomplish and whether some of those things will be in those same categories or new categories, if we need to put together any new work groups. And so I just wanted to start the conversation and hear from people what are some of the things that are feeling most urgent right now in Milpitas to you, and what are some of the things that might help us connect with our partners, larger partners at the county and with other cities and with other organizations that are doing work, so that we can build on the great work that everybody's doing. So I would like to just open the floor and hear what folks have to say.
Well, possibly for the youth, I think the timing is excellent as far as the social emotional learning and the partnership with the Herd Alliance. I think we could certainly fold that into, what our initial thoughts were in support to the transitional youth and teens.
One thing I wanted to ask you all and get some feedback on, we have at our senior center has recently been doing some digital inclusion outreach to seniors who are isolated and helping them connect with technology. And I'm feeling like there's some sort of symbiotic thing that we could do there. Several of you have, a senior part of your mission, and certainly Sarah, your organization is heavily supporting seniors with housing. So I'm wondering if there's something that we can do there. And as was mentioned at our last meeting, we recently got a grant. Actually, no, it's not a grant, it's a bequest. Right, John? A bequest. Right. For some programs toward seniors, and some of that money can be used toward suicide prevention programs for seniors. So it seems like a great opportunity for us to think about how we might serve the senior community better going forward. Anyone care to brainstorm with me?
Yeah, just to build off of that. So I apologize, I haven't been present for a previous meeting. So if you've discussed this already in the past, just let me know. With the property that I'm referring to in Milpitas, it's DeVries Place. And what we have done is that I've identified a services coordinator. So he's there full time. And so we actually did a survey the end of last year to identify what is the residents' comfortability with technology, what devices they have, do they know how to use Zoom. What we realize is that the majority of our residents have a smart device, but their comfort and their accessibility using them is where we need to work with them. So we've identified the area that we need to target into. So we're starting off with really light conversations where social engagement, where we just ask about their well-being, connecting them with any types of resources, and we plan to make it more individualized. So we actually plan on recruiting volunteers to help depending on the language barriers. So at the property that I'm referring to, we have about 5 predominant languages there. And so we've tapped into what kind of volunteers we can use to make sure the communication is good. We also purchased a Pocket Talk device, which is a handheld device that translates in 82 different languages in real time. Excellent device. I recommend to everyone. It's a game changer. Language is no longer a barrier for us when we're dealing with residents in person. So I highly recommend it. It's Wi-Fi based. So if you have your phone, you can turn on the hotspot. So we're just trying to see under what elements we can engage our residents, because currently we're not seeing them in person. So in regards to these kind of programs, we're still in the planning phase just to understand how to build up our residents' comfort first. And when these programs get launched, we want to make sure that it's not technology or language that's a barrier, but we troubleshoot those first. So that's kind of where we're at.
Sarah, can I ask you, because we're always trying to reach out to communities that are not that are English as a second language or low English proficiency. What are the languages that you guys are seeing at DeVries?
DeVries in particular, so Mandarin, Cantonese, Vietnamese, Tagalog, very, very small Korean population as well too.
Okay.
Those are the predominant ones that we have.
Okay.
Sarah, what was the name of that device again?
It's called a Pocket Talk.
Very cool.
And the Pocket Talk itself, so it's one word and it's one T in between. So it's Pocket Talk. But it fits into the palm of your hand. They actually had a special a little while ago. We have the classic version of it, and I think they were selling it. Originally, it was about $400, and because we're a nonprofit, we got it for $200. As of right now, I believe because they're running low on inventory, I believe you can get the device for about $100.
Wow.
Okay.
Take it, we need that.
Yes.
So I know there were a few, I know Don wanted a little update. Don, do you want to hold on to the next meeting, or do you want to just briefly talk about your project right now? It's regarding the teens, right? The youth?
It is. Actually, it's regarding just a opportunity to educate young people around mental health.
Yeah.
I think Kyle probably might say it best because he does, what do you call that, Kyle? A speed round or something? What do you call it?
I'm muted. Sorry.
Uh-oh,
I'll go for a quick lightning round of what
lightning round. That's what it
what
is. So
we're
I'll let,
going. I have 3 minutes, right? Okay.
yes. Okay.
All right.
I'll
So
let Kyle tell it.
Don and I have been working on a diversity campaign involving NAMI Santa Clara County, NAMI National, and some connections with the Grammys and some of the singers from the band Train. So they, Nikita and Sakai, they did this music video, very We Are the World, like everyone come together, talk about peace and breaking cultural barriers and everything like that. And they made this award-winning music video, and we decided to use that as a centerpiece in a whole diversity campaign, trying to diversify mental health in communities of color, especially since those are historically mental health is more stigmatized. So Don and I came up with a three-part campaign in which we will survey our community and ask, like, how can we make our resources more comprehensive, more culturally competent to people in the Japanese community, the Korean community, South Asian community, Filipino community, all those. We have about 10 surveys to go out. We're also trying to get more resources on our mental health website, on NAMI's website. Like, if I'm a Asian American Pacific Islander, I identify as that, I go to that section of the website, find resources specifically for my community. And finally, we get to our the third part of the campaign, which will be using the video. So this third part is going to be broken into 6 parts. So it's going to be 4 vignettes, and the first part is a TikTok. What we're doing is using lines from the music video as a theme for each vignette. So the first line is, I don't have it in front of me, excuse me, but the first vignette is going to be a mental health check-in. What we're going to do is I have a TikTok challenge, and what we're asking from City of Milpitas and from the youth, if you could help spread the word on this, get as many eyes on it possible, because it's going to be one of those TikToks where it's like, oh, this is your the wellness challenge. We're still working on the name, but wellness challenge. And it's like you're pointing at different things, like, here's what I'm doing for my wellness. I'm taking a walk. I canceled a meeting, you know, like this and that. Just trying to teach or educate the youth on these are things that we can do to manage our mental health on a daily basis. Now, the second vignette is going to talk about all of the tragedies that have been happening, COVID-19, the fires, all of the racial tragedies, lack of a better word to say, racial tragedies going on. We're going to use this vignette to speak openly, explicitly say that we are feeling this, we are hurting from this, we see this as a mental health issue. And then the third vignette will be expanding on those emotions and bringing the using the vignette, using the music to talk about how we can hope for a better day. And then the fourth vignette will be we all just want to care, and it'll be the call to action. Let's all educate ourselves on each other's communities, learn how to talk to one another. And then the fifth part, excuse me, I'm almost done. The fifth part will be we'll drop the entire song. This is when the audience realizes, oh, this is all part of one big thing. It's a song. Oh, it's an award-winning song with Grammy Award, trains on it. Wow, like, and that's when we're gonna get everyone engaged. And at that point, part 6, the very last part, will be a panel with someone from NAMI National to talk about mental health and diversity. We have someone from the producers of the song and the singers to speak on it. Someone from the AAPI organization called M Collective. They ran the Moon Festival at the San Jose Flea Market a couple years ago. Those are some panelists that we have, and that's the plan. What we need is just, or what we're asking for is just to gauge your interest, and if you're willing to help us spread the word, and give us any notes like, oh, Kyle, I think you should change the wording here because so and so might think this from this community, like things like help us fine tune it. And yeah, that's my lightning round. Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you, Kyle.
I don't have much to add. He pretty much said it all.
Yeah.
We'll start next month though. And it's still in the early stages. So we're still kind of working on the surveys, which we can share. You all can take a look at those and see if that resonates with the community.
Right. And I think it's a good item to discuss, or even have a special meeting with the youth, transitional youth or teen group. So we all can work together.
Love to.
For the focus groups. Yep. So Tegan, I think the next priorities, we should add it to the agenda next time as well.
We should, but I was game to use up some more time today. We don't have to get off until 5. So if we go another 10 minutes, if other people had stuff to add. I don't know. I mean, now we've got Liliana, so we can, where we previously weren't really able to talk about or didn't really focus on reaching out to the veterans community. Maybe that's something that we can think about coming up. Jay, I don't know if you have stuff with the county that you guys you're looking for the cities to partner with you on, but we'd love to hear it. Obviously you guys are doing the means restriction stuff. I don't know if that's, would be good for us to think about for next year too. You've done a lot with the different language communities lately.
Yeah, I think I think what you just mentioned about the ligature restriction, means restriction, is a really, it's sort of like the pinnacle of our upstream work. We're trying to see what we can do. It's really challenging, particularly with ligature restriction. So, I mean, hopefully the data work group, the group that put that roundtable discussion together, hopefully they can come back. They're gonna sort of give some suggestions to our other interventions work group and try to workshop those materials. So that's sort of coming together. And I guess the most I could say is when we have materials, or we're thinking about what's going to go into those materials, we could ask for some assistance at least with some feedback, if not also with dissemination potentially, or if you all want to include it in your package of materials that you're offering on your new website, stuff like that.
Okay, good. Well, we'll wait to hear what they come up with and what recommendations they have. That sounds like it might be something we can work with once they finish their work or get along in their work. Others, we've got a lot of people from the youth community here. Liliana, did you want to add anything from the veterans community?
Yeah, I was wondering with the veterans, I mean, we'll probably find them in either the senior group or like the young adult group, right? And I'm just wondering how that would fit in with the groups that you already have, or are we creating new ones? Just trying to understand where we are.
Both are either. Yeah, I think we're just really brainstorming at this point, trying to figure out where our focus is going to go. The youth group's been working more toward the younger end of the youth group, I think, toward the teens, as opposed to the 20 somethings that might be getting back from the tour of duty. But that might not be, a bad area for us to focus. And I also think with COVID, we've probably got areas to think about in response to folks who are, really struggling financially, and that kind of causes more difficulties in their life. And it's going to be a slow recovery for some people. So, we want to support everybody as COVID, as the COVID recovery continues. Pastor Mize, your boots on the ground in Milpitas. Do you have anything that you want to share that you've heard, areas that you think we can work on?
No, I think you're covering it pretty well. Right now I'm doing a lot with getting food out to people, but yeah, I think you guys are covering it really well. And we're glad to support whatever you're doing.
Thank you. Well, you keep us posted if you hear of anything that we need to be focused on.
Okay, I will. We've
also been working with our housing department on, and the Hope for the Unhoused in Milpitas has been an increasing presence. So we're certainly working in that area. The housing department's getting ready to bring Dignity on Wheels into Milpitas twice a month. And so that's an opportunity for us to reach out to those folks too. So.
Yeah, I think organizing more insecurely housed individuals in Milpitas could be the next step that we work towards, especially as the restrictions are lifted and landlords start evicting people or just job losses and stuff. I think we're going to see a lot of that population grow, unfortunately. So that could be our next step. Maybe we'll need a different group, a work group, to work with the low income or insecurely housed population and mental health support around that.
That's true. That's going to really open up a new area. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Good. Well, if everybody thinks about this over the next month, and when we come back together, we can talk more about it and see if we can get some more concrete ideas fleshed out and where we're going to go. And then the work groups that we have, finish up what they're doing and see if there's other things that they still need to do. So, great.
Yep. Can I just add something? It's a little off topic, but not quite. I wanted to just say that the senior program to connect seniors to technology is lovely. My mom came in and John helped her, and you all have a little box for the seniors. My mom learned how to use the computer and send a Zoom message and an email. Connect on Zoom and send an email for the first time in a really, really long time. And for her, that was so powerful because her brother had just gone into the hospital and we weren't able to see him. So I just think that is such a great program to connect people. And I think Janelle and Sarah were the two women who lead, I think it's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, they lead a group. But it's just so welcoming. My mom just felt so, John came out to greet, and it's just such a wonderful, wonderful experience. So for those of us who sit in the middle and care for elders, to have an experience in a program that makes our families, our loved ones, our elders feel independent and feel like they can, like she's, connecting to my nephew. And so it's really empowered her to start doing more things, actually. She seems more engaged in life in general as a result of that one experience meeting up with the team that John has put together. So, and she shared it with her friends who are now trying to connect to Charu, because now they're like, well, we want to do it too, because if you can send an email, then we should be able to send an email, and we want to get on Zoom. And so I think for them to be able to start Zooming with each other and Zooming with us during dinner, and I just can't thank you enough, because I've seen her morale significantly increase, and her feeling of independence. She's a little bit more spunky or outspoken or snarky, some might call it. But, it came from that experience. So I just wanted to just put a plug out, because I think as you all think about that, the lives that you're touching and impacting is so powerful. So I thank you, John, and your team, and Tegan and Charu, and just all that you all do to make elders and the seniors feel welcome and included.
That's a great story. Thank you, Dawn, for sharing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think with seniors, just the isolation piece and the technology, the phone calls, and just some other services where we can maybe not see them, but at least socially distance visits. I think that help a lot. And also, I think, Dawn, you brought up a really good point with the sandwich generation, what I refer to as sandwich generation, taking care of the kids, taking care of the seniors. Maybe at the next meeting, we can discuss a few ideas how to provide mental health support to those adults like some of us. Yeah. So, Tegan, should we move to the next item? I think Rachel.
To the next item, but yeah, go ahead.
So the next, if anyone has any agenda items, we'll use this next meeting to discuss more on next priorities. And until then, you can share with Tegan and myself any ideas that come up, and we'll add it to the agenda. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 13th, same time. Again, I encourage everyone to send me any agenda items you might have. And that's all from me. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. You're done in time.
Thanks all.
Before time. Thank you.
See you.
It was nice to see everyone today. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next month.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you next month. Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sucreen. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Mike, Rochelle.